Hey y'all, it's your girl Crown Marie. I'm back with another video, and today I'm gonna do another video about inquiries because I want us to really truly understand why inquiries is an act of fraud. If we understand wording, if we look at the definitions and see what the words mean, we'll realize that it really is an act of fraud. These things that these institutions are doing. So we really got to make sure when we're reading the law, we're reading the definitions and we're understanding. Okay, so that's what today is going to be about, these inquiries and how it's an act of fraud. And you got the right to go after these people because this is an act of fraud. Okay, written instructions have to be given by you before anybody can pull your consumer report. So if you have not given anybody permission to pull your consumer report, then that is an act of fraud. That is identity theft. So for instance, when you go to the dealership, the institution tell you that they're submitting your information to a bank to see if you can get approved for credit, but they submit your information to multiple banks just to see if you can get approved. You didn't know that part. Okay, so that is a breach of your privacy. The law says before anyone can pull your consumer report, it have to be written instructions from you. So this company, the dealership, took it upon themselves to send your information to multiple banks that you don't even know. You did not give them written instructions to pull your consumer report, which is an act of fraud. We're going to read the law to bag us up. So if we read 15 USC 1681B2, it tells us clearly that the consumer has to give written instructions, okay? Written instructions to the person who intends on using, okay, your credit, who intends on using your information, in connection with a credit transaction. So this is what the law said, and we're going to read that. Okay, so 1681B2, and we're going to go down to 2. So it say, in accordance with written instructions of the consumer to whom it relates, to a person which it has reason to believe. Okay, to a person. It says, in accordance with the written instructions of the consumer, you are the consumer, to whom it relates to a person. Who is the person? Let's click on person and see what that means, okay? We've been taught that person means an individual, but could a person mean more than just an individual? So we there at person. So it says the term person means an individual, partnership, corporation, trust, estate, cooperative, association, government, or governmental subdivision, or agency, or other entity. Okay, so a person does mean more than just an individual. So in this case, we're talking about the person. The person is the corporation, because it says a person can be, a corporation, a trust, a state. So in this case, the dealership is the corporation. Also, the corporation is the other banks that the dealership sent your information to. So those are corporations, those are persons, those are the corporations that the dealership then sent your information to, but you did not give them written instructions, because it say in accordance with written instructions of the consumer to whom it relates, to a person which it has reason to believe intends to use the information in connection with a credit transaction. The multiple corporations that the dealership sent your information to use your information in connection with a credit transaction, but written instructions was not given by you. How is that not an act of fraud? So the corporations, institutions, creditor, they intend on using your information in connection to a credit transaction, but written instructions was not given by you. That is an act of fraud. This is why I say it's bigger than credit repair, because they need permission to do anything when it comes to your consumer report, because the law says written instructions have to be given by you. You don't know who these companies are. Okay, so this is how you can remove inquiries off your consumer report. These corporations have to prove that permissible purpose was given for them to pull your consumer report. If they can't prove it, then that is a breach of privacy, that is fraud, that is identity theft, okay? That is identity theft. If you read and understand the law, you can formulate your own letter by using the words of the law. And if you don't know how to do that, if you need help writing your letters, click the link in the bio and we got you. But you can formulate your own letters if you just read the law. Take the words of the law. You ain't got to figure out nothing. The law says they have to get written instructions from you. The burden of proof is on them. 1681B2, permissible purpose. They must prove that permission was given. They must prove that they had permission to pull your consumer report. If they can't prove it, then they must remove it. You have to hold them accountable. That's how you remove it off your consumer report, by asking them, demanding them to prove it. Don't wait to be great.